Senator Graham, welcome back to Washington Watch. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you, Tony.
Talk about chilling free speech. Arctic frost, they're tracking you. What'd they hear? What'd they find out?
Yeah, well, this is not about free speech. It's about separation of powers. It's about my ability as the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, January 4th through the 7th, to find out what I need to learn before I vote to certify an election, whether or not my committee in the Senate should do an investigation of what happened in 2020. We're a separate branch of government. The idea that Jack Smith's FBI agents in 2023 would look at my phone records as to who I called, where I was at, and how long those phone calls lasted is unconstitutional in my view, is appalling, and should make people worried all over the country, whether you like me or not. This is a very big deal. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino have done a great job cleaning up this mess, and I will let you know what I learn in the future.
Well, Chairman of the Judiciary Committee, Chuck Grassley, said that this is arguably worse than Watergate. You agree?
Yeah, well, just think about it. There are 8 United States senators, all Republican, that were surveilled by FBI agents working for Jack Smith. What people got to realize that Jack Smith was a special counsel appointed to investigate Trump. He was appointed 3 days after Trump announced in 2022 he was going to run for office again. Within 5 months of President Trump announcing in 2022 he would seek the nomination for the Republican Party in 2024 to run for president, there were 4 jurisdictions indicted him with 60 or 70 felony charges. New York, the Attorney General,
right.
Manhattan DA, Fulton County DA, Fannie Willis. Jack Smith brought charges against him for mishandling classified information and trying to, change the outcome of the 2020 election. One indictment in Washington, D.C., the other in Florida. So within 5 months of announcing he's going to run again, he had 4 of the most liberal jurisdictions in the country load him up with charges. And I think it wasn't about 2020. It was designed to stop him for 2024. In 2023, we now know Jack Smith's FBI agents were looking at my phone calls and that of my fellow colleagues regarding 2020. This is a big deal.
Okay.
And
we haven't heard the last of this. We're going to hear more?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. All right. I mean, because a lot of times we hear these things and then we just kind of move on because there's some other outrageous thing that happens. But you're right. This is separation of powers. This is a big deal. If it's not addressed, it'll happen again.
Amen.
All right, let's move on because I only have you for 4 more minutes, and there's a lot to cover. I want to talk about very quickly government shutdown. We're in day 7 here, and there's now talk. The president said he might be open to some negotiations over these subsidies, these premium subsidies for ACA or the Obamacare. What do we know?
Well, I don't know how this movie is going to end, but I know this. When you have a policy dispute, you don't shut down the government to resolve it. That's holding people hostage. The subsidies we're talking about are Obamacare. They apply to people that make 400% above poverty.
Right.
Insurance companies get paid for everybody they enroll. I think there's a lot of fraud. It needs to be reformed. And I'm not going to extend these subsidies in the current form.
Okay.
And shutting down the government to get me to do that is not going to work. And I hope we all...
And it should be known that these were only done for during the COVID era. It was supposed to be a short-term.
COVID's behind us. That's right.
Right.
Exactly.
But one thing, Senator Graham, if these are negotiated either post a government shutdown, if the thing about Obamacare, the ACA, it does not have Hyde protections. This ought to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. As a matter of fact, COVID's behind us. Obamacare is just escalates in costs like we said it would. Obamacare is not health care reform. It's taking money from the middle class to give to people in lower income levels their health care virtually free. It's a reallocation of money to create health care programs for people based on income, and most of the money is coming from the middle class.
Right.
You're paying more. Some people get it for free. That's not health care reform. That's sort of redistribution.
Well, you know who gets the biggest cut is the insurance companies are making a killing off of this.
Killing. They get paid for every person they sign up, and some of these people may not even exist. That's
right.
what I want to look at.
So it's the fraud, and just throw trillions of dollars at it, you're going to get more fraud. All right, less than 2 minutes left. Senator Graham, today, October 7th, 2 years ago, Hamas launched this attack on Israel. It now appears the world's turned against Israel, not Hamas.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. People don't like strong Jewish people, apparently. Every time Israel is strong, it gets condemned. Anti-Semitism exists, but every time Israel fights back and strikes back, the world piles on. 2 years ago today, the largest loss of Jewish life occurred in the most barbaric attack since the Holocaust. It was designed to prevent Saudi Arabia from recognizing Israel. It is directly related to Iran's support for Hamas. They filmed it so you couldn't look away. I am more dedicated than ever to destroying Hamas, make sure they never come back, and see if we can get Saudi Arabia and Israel back on track to end the Arab-Israeli conflict. That's the best way to win this war.
Does that 20-point plan eliminate Hamas in the threat of the future?
It does, but it's got to. Hamas has to disarm. They can't be part of the future of the Palestinian world.
Is that negotiable? Is that negotiable?
Well, to me, that's non-negotiable.
Okay.
If that is not achieved, the whole thing fails.
I would agree with you, Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, thanks for joining us.
God bless.